Ireland is on the verge of a snap election after the party that props up the country's minority coalition government threatened to pull down the administration over a police whistleblower scandal. The Prime Minister, Leo Varadkar, faces the prospect of going to the polls as early as next month, in the middle of a crucial summit on the EU, Britain and Brexit at which the stakes are high for the Irish Republic. The prospect of an election emerged over the last 24 hours following a row about emails from the Deputy Prime Minister, Francis Fitzgerald, into how police deal with a whistleblower alleging corruption and malpractice. Fianna Fáil submitted a no-confidence measure in Fitzgerald on Friday, which will be voted on next Tuesday. Varadkar, leader of the Fine Gael party that heads the minority government, has ruled out the resignation of his deputy Francis Fitzgerald. But opposition Fianna Fáil leader Michael Martin said Fitzgerald should step aside in our view and that would avoid a general election. Timeline in Garda Síochána, Ireland's National Police Service, has faced a series of scandals in recent years that have led to the resignations of two Garda commissioners, played a key part in former Prime Minister Enda Kenny stepping down, and now threatened to bring down the Irish government. November 2012, then Justice Minister Alan Shatter receives an interim Garda report on allegations that drivers' penalty points were being cleared, with no reasons given. Two officers described as whistleblowers, former Garda John Wilson and Sergeant Maurice McCabe, had raised the issue, alleging misconduct and corruption within the force. September 2013, a report from the Controller Auditor General supports some of the whistleblowers' allegations, finding operational weaknesses in the fine system, and saying the Garda had lost significant revenue from irregularities. The 25th of March 2014, Martin Callanan, then Garda Commissioner, announces his retirement amid calls for his resignation, after he said he found the whistleblower's allegations quite disgusting. The 7th of May 2014, Alan Shatter, who had also criticized the whistleblowers, steps down after receiving a critical report into how his department handled McCabe's allegations. The government launches an inquiry into the scandal, led by the former High Court Judge, Kevin O'Higgins. The 10th of May 2016, the 362-page report identifies serious flaws and failures but finds no evidence of Garda criminality or corruption. It upholds many of McCabe's complaints but also says some of his claims were overstated. The report also finds Shatter did his work well. October 2016, David Taylor, former head of the Garda press office, says he was directed by senior officers including Callanan and his replacement Norrin O'Sullivan to discredit McCabe. Commissioner O'Sullivan denies any involvement in the alleged smear campaign. The 24th of February 2017, the first public investigation into the alleged smear campaign against McCabe begins, chaired by Supreme Court Judge Peter Charlton. It is ongoing. The 23rd of March 2017, senior Garda officers reveal that almost 1 million drink driving tests recorded by the police did not take place, and a separate error caused almost 15,000 wrongful traffic convictions. The Garda apologize, but the mistake could cost Irish taxpayers millions. The 18th of May 2017, Enda Kenny resigns after party pressure over his failure to secure a majority government in a general election in 2016 and his handling of the crises in the Irish police. The 10th of September 2017, Norrin O'Sullivan announces her retirement, saying she had faced an unending cycle of investigations into the Garda Síochána. New Irish Prime Minister, Leo Varadkar, says her decision ensures the police can now focus on reforms. The 24th of November 2017, the party propping up Ireland's minority coalition government submits a no-confidence motion against Deputy Prime Minister, Francis Fitzgerald, over her handling of the police whistleblower scandal. It threatens to pulse its support for the government, unless she resigns. Thank you for your feedback. The focus is on an email from May 2015, which outlined how legal teams for Norrin O'Sullivan, then the police commissioner, and Maurice McCabe, a police officer and whistleblower, clashed at an inquiry into the latter's allegations of police malpractice. The email related to a strategy Sergeant McCabe's supporters claim was drawn up by the police high command to discredit him. Fitzgerald had claimed that she did not remember the email, and that, in any event, she could not have legally intervened. Her defenders in the ruling Fine Gael party have said there is a judicial inquiry into the handling of the way Sergeant McCabe was treated and that should be allowed to run its course. Fine Gael deputies in the Irish Parliament on Thursday night appeared to rally round the Deputy PM. She also received the backing of Varadkar and his Foreign Minister, Simon Coveney. Coveney said on Thursday that the judicial inquiry into the McCabe affair should be allowed to finish. We should allow that process to conclude these issues rather than trying to prejudge them now in a way that I believe to be unfair to Francis Fitzgerald, he said. On Friday morning, Coveney said the last thing Ireland needs is a general election in the middle of crucial Brexit negotiations. While Fine Gael parliamentarians passed a motion of support for Fitzgerald, the party relies on the goodwill of the main opposition party, Fianna Fáil, to remain in power. Fianna Fáil operates a policy similar to the Democratic Unionists at Westminster in a so-called confidence and supply strategy. Like the DUP in London, Fianna Fáil in Dublin props up a minority government by backing it only in votes of no confidence in Parliament. Senior sources in Fianna Fáil said that confidence and supply strategy was dead in the water if Fine Gael continued to insist Fitzgerald remain in office. Quick guide: forged in the Irish Civil War as the side that accepted the Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921, Fine Gael has a centre-right, pro-market and pro-European outlook. The party has two distinctive wings: a socially liberal, urban and professional base, and a rural grassroots following with strong links to the farming community. Initially comprising opponents of the Anglo-Irish Treaty, Fianna Fáil is also seen as centre-right. It dominated Irish politics for much of the 20th century and used to enjoy predominantly working-class membership. An archetypal pragmatic political force, the party now has strong links to builders and property investors. Once umbilically linked to the Provisional IRA, Sinn Féin has benefited enormously from the Irish peace process, with Gerry Adams and Martin McGuinness becoming internationally renowned political figures. The party takes a populist and pragmatic approach to economic issues. Thank you for your feedback. One Fianna Fáil source said someone in Fine Gael will have to talk to Fitzgerald over the weekend and convince her to resign. Sinn Féin's deputy leader, Mary Lou McDonald, accused the deputy PM of having clearly failed in her duties when she learned about a strategy that was so utterly malicious and designed to ruin Sergeant McCabe's life. McDonald, who is hotly tipped to succeed Gerry Adams as the next Sinn Féin president, claimed Fitzgerald should have acted to counter the strategy she learned about in the email sent to her in May 2015. Fianna Fáil and Sinn Féin have claimed that this email was evidence that the legal team acting for the police were using aggressive tactics against Sergeant McCabe and that Fitzgerald should have acted on it. Fitzgerald has insisted she had no legal powers to intervene in the way the police legal team were acting. Varadkar's predecessor, Enda Kenny, resigned in May this year after coming under growing internal party pressure over his failure to secure a majority government in the general election in 2016 and his handling of the crises in the Irish police.